YouTubers. It's a weekday for me, not the weekend. So, figured I'd bring you along for my daily routine of electric life. I noticed yesterday when I was driving by a gas station, I stopped in to get my normal treats and whatnot, a little NOS drink and some hot rods. But the gas prices have gone up to $1.25, and they used to be, here in town, one's at $1.15 and the other one's at $1.16. So they're going up. As I'm driving by, I'm basically laughing that basically I have a toaster. So my life starts every morning. I come out, I grab a little dongle out of here. I go. I roll the cord up there. Come on, there. Close my door. So yesterday I used 12 kilowatts out of the battery. I found out that I've only got 20.5 in the battery. So I don't have a full brand new battery. But whatever. And then I roll the cord. It's a little harder to do with one hand, but I roll up my cord. So I gotta take this damn thing with me. Come on, you motherfucker. Roll up. You stiff fucker. There. Alright, ready to go. So, take my cord with me until I get the fucking thing in the mounted to the wall. Then I go back here and I stick it on my custom mount. Yeah. Like so. So I made a piece for the back of my headrest. It's a piece of aluminum with a hole stuck in it, and then two mounts. Can't see it really well in the dark here. There we go. So yeah, it's just a piece of aluminum with a flashing on the back of it so I don't screw up my headrest, and then two rods. That holds the charger. There's the original charger right there, but it's too damn slow. This one, way faster. And then I have my multitude of adapters. So I have one for RV, one for, I think that's what, 50 amp. Then I have a 30 amp. Then I have a dryer one, which I don't have the end on at the moment. I have a 110, and I have two 110s. The way this one works, there you go, is I got my plug there, which is the same plug that I use for all my adapters. It's the 240 split. So each one of them has the same plug end on it, and then it changes off to the other one. This one I haven't put on yet because I ran out of these style plugs. And then I got two 110s. This is for when it's on two different phases. I can make 240 on that one. So I take 120, 120, 240. So this is the one I use at work, because the way they've got the plug split is one phase is on each plug, so I can make 240. For the other ones, I use this one to switch it into 110, because that thing automatically switches. So I go from a 15 amp circuit to a 110 16 or a 13 amp circuit. I use this one every so often. Sometimes I can pull 20 amp out of it. So then I've got 30 amp welder plug, a 50 amp welder plug, or V plug, and if I can get at it, a dryer plug. But again, then I have an extension cord just in case I need to go a little further. So let's go see what this pig says it's got in it for today. Oh. Fucking mask fell in my pocket. So this pig says I have 130 to go. So we're fully charged. I average 5.2 kilometers per kilowatt that I burn. So that is a gasometer. I'll probably be sitting at about 30 kilometers, maybe 35 kilometers by the time I get to work. So I will update you when I get to work.
Later.
So hit the highway. Yeah, I'm doing something I shouldn't have been doing, but you're on a pedestal. So yeah, hit the highway and cruise along at 100-ish, and getting out of the city, use a little bit trying to pass a freaking truck, but I got 170 kilometers left, and I'm trucking up the hill. Move you around. So using 3 dots at 100k. So that's what we're doing so far. I'll hit the halfway point, pick up a drink today since it's Friday, and I'll find out what I've got at the halfway point. I'm thinking 68, that's usually about the average I get, so that's what I'm expecting to do. I don't have any heat or anything like that on because it's a fairly warm day, so I will let you know what I've got when I get there.
Eventually.
So at my halfway point, I've got 75 kilometers. The gasometer, so I got 75 there. I'm still doing about 5.2 kilometers per kilowatt, and according to my other cell phone that I've got here, I've got 13.6 kilowatts left in the battery, and state of charge is just a little under 70%. Ignore this one, that should be about 6,000, because I've got my battery's total is 20.5, so that is what I've consumed, but I ended up resetting this because I was doing some really weird shit. So this runs on the OBD2. There's a little dongle down below, and it's connected right now, and it's talking to the ECU, and talking to the BMS and the battery. So this is basically all the information I can get out of my car. So what I use for power and auxiliary and heat and all the other shit there, tires, outside temperature, regenerative braking, oh no, that's my cells, and then more information about the batteries. And there's another one I don't have turned on at the moment. I can get into settings for the ECU, change door locks and stuff like that for when I put it in park. That was really annoying. So when I push in park now, the door's on lock instead of when it gets out of park. When I shut the car off, then the door's unlocked. It drove me nuts. So yeah, this one is connected right now, and it's telling me information. So I'm gonna, and we'll find out how much I've got when I get to work. It's currently -2, and they're saying it was +3 or 5. So not doing too bad for today. Usually I have about 68, 65 by the time I hit this spot, and I'm just whizzing by at 100k. So yeah, just sitting here with cruise control and tootling on down the highway. So onward and upward.
A few moments later.
Well, at work, made it. F 38 left on the dial. Going to the battery. We've got 40% left to go. And what I have to do is plug into my rigmarole and charge up for the rest of the day. Should be about 5.5 hours. See you at the end of the day.
One eternity later.
So it's the end of the day. I just took the charger off the car. Turns out it was 4 hours and 45 minutes to charge, and I'm back up to 118 kilometers. Now, I'm going to be going home and going downhill, so I won't be using all that. I'll probably end up having probably 65 to 70k left when I get home. So we'll find out. So made it to the highway from work. I've got 113 left on the guessometer. I started off again today from work with 20.5, so now I'm at the highway, as you can see, and this is my dirt. Just on the way home. According to the car, it's 20 above right now. I've got 5 bars for heat and full charge. So once I get on the highway, I get penalized for turning the cruise control. I lose 5 kilometers. Don't know why. That's just the way they have got it set up. I have it set to eco, so I'm not balls to the walls speed. This thing will get up and go. So I just have it on eco and tootle on home and set it to 100. Anybody that doesn't like it can pass me. I don't care. But right now I'm kind of giggling and smirking at people that are literally shitting a brick right now when gas has gone up to $1.25, $1.26 in areas. And they're telling me, it's like, oh, gas has gone up. I'm like, I don't have to worry anymore. I really don't give a shit. So yeah, I'm kind of happy. It's one of those, you think I was stupid before. Now who's stupid? You call me dumb, and I'm not so dumb anymore. Even though I still have a love-hate relationship with this car, but I can rectify the hate part. But I actually do love the other aspects, is why I fell in love with trying to get one of these cars. But yeah, now with the traffic is clear, I'm going to goose this thing and get it up to 100 and cruise on home. Find out how much I have when I get in the driveway. See you around.
Later.
Alright, boys and girls, end of the day. Back home in my own personal driveway now, or in the garage. And according to the guessometer, I have 55 kilometers left. And I was bucking a pretty good wind on the way home. I should have had probably about 70-ish normally, but 55, I'll take it any day. So according to what I can get off it, I got 8.3 kilowatts left in the battery. This is the state of my battery right now, is 46%. And it's saying 55. And I'm averaging 5.2 kilometers per kilowatt that I'm burning. So normally that's 5.5, and this will go up. But like I said, today I was bucking a wind. So minus the 2,000 I ended up buggering up this morning, and this thing kicking in and out, I should be, for the overall today, 23,000, so that's 23 kilowatts. If I had a perfectly good battery like that, this bar here is my capacity of a battery. There's 12 bars. There's one at the top right there that's missing. So I only have 90% of my battery available to me. As the years pass, this thing will drop even more. This is a 2016, and it's only dropped 1 bar within that time. So if it drops within that time frame again, so be it. Let's see here. Does it show? Yes, it does. So my battery health is 90.6%. I've still got 374 volts left in the battery. The odometer I'm currently at, how many quick charges this thing's received, and how many level 1 and level 2. That's basically what the house is. Level 1 is 120s, and level 2s is 240 and above. I have the ability to charge at, come on, where are you? So this is my charging as it right now. So 248 6 kilowatts, which is basically what I'm going to plug into the wall right now. Oh, or no, what is it? This is 16 amp. So 3 kilowatts. So I'll be charging it at 5 hours. If I go 32 amp right out of the wall, I'll charge it 3.5 hours. And if I use that Nissan Leaf one that I showed you this morning in the baggie, it'd be 9.5 hours. First day I drove this thing, I shit a brick. I got to work and that meter said 16.5 hours to recharge this thing. I had, what was it, 26 kilometers left on the, oh Jesus, heartburn. I had 26 kilometers left on the dial, and it was flashing that day, and it was fucking cold, so it was taking 16 hours. We ended up bringing the car in the building and charging it up, and still didn't get a full charge on it. I ended up spending I think 12 hours at work waiting for this thing to get enough kilometers in it to drive home, and I ended up driving home with no heat. I still don't drive with heat because I'm still, like, and I said, the love-hate relationship. I turned it on about below pain. About halfway through my trip, I'll turn it on because I know at that point I should have enough to get to work. I still haven't confidently turned it on from home and go all the way to work. This will be probably just a summer car right now. In the winter, once it dips below minus 18, this thing has battery heaters in it. There's little pads within the 3 packs that are in the bottom that run off the main drive battery, and they do suck quite a bit of power. They run off the 400 volts or whatever they're reduced down to, but I cannot shut them off. It is factory. They turn on at minus 18 and they stay on until the battery comes up to a certain temperature and they shut off again. I have no control over it, so therefore this car, at this point in time, I cannot drive below minus 18 for that fear that, well, I've driven it at minus 18 and then I realized they kicked in. I can't run the heat and that basically at the same time, or I probably won't have enough range. Again, this is the love-hate that I have. Since the battery I have is at the trim level I have, the battery is so small, I basically just have enough to do what I need to do, and that's about it. The fix I have for the hate side is I just go get another battery. So what I'm going to end up doing is finding a wrecked car for a fairly decent price from, I think the closest one to me would be Alberta or BC, and hopefully they have a 40 or 60 kilowatt battery. The 60 comes in the 2019s. The 30 and 40 comes in this model. There's an SL and SV. So they'll have the 30 or 40. I'm going to shoot for a 40 or 60, and I can make them fit this. I just have to get a gizmo that will chain or pair the battery to the car. Because, yeah, it has an identifier. You can't just swap it out like an engine. So that's the ins and outs of it for me. So that I can rectify. So right now I've got basically enough to get my job done, and that's it. So now I'm just going to put the car in charge and let it sit there and shoot away at 3 kilowatts for whatever time it takes. I don't care. It can take all night for all I give a rat's ass. I could put it on the 120 and just let her trickle. But I put it on 16 because that's what I've got at work and that's what I set it to. I don't usually go to 32 unless I'm in a real hurry or I know I can pull it out of the wall. I can pull it here. I can't pull it at work unless I plug into their 50 amp, and we don't have a 50 amp plug available to me outside. So I use the 16 here and I use the 16 at work. I just leave the charger alone, and that's basically what I've been doing for the last what is it now, middle of January till now. So it is the middle of March, so I'd say 2 full months I've been driving this car, and I've had the range anxiety to the point where When I first bought the car, and found out that it was going to 16 hours to charge, I did not sleep very well at all through that week. I didn't end up driving the car for that week because I couldn't drive it. Back up a little bit. Once I found out that it would take that long, I contacted the dealership. Dealership was not really remorseful in not taking the car back, knowing that it would not function for what I needed it to do. But they were nice enough. They stepped up to the plate and they bought me the charger I have currently right now. That's a $400 and something charger, or whatever they got. They got it from Amazon. I was able to pick it up. Another one similar to it for about half the price, and figured out that it's a 120 240 switch, even though on the back of it just says 240 only. So they were nice enough to step up to the plate and say, yes, we will buy you a charger to help you out, so we can make your purchase a little bit more enjoyable. So that was still my buyer's remorse, going, fuck, what did I do? So I ended up having to park the car and take the plates off it until the charger came in, and it got stuck in customs for a while. So I didn't drive it per se for probably about 3 weeks, 2 weeks, somewhere in that neighborhood. Once I got the charger and was able to charge it up and charge it at work and then charge it back home, things started settling down a little bit, but I still had range anxiety. Am I going to get there? Am I going to have enough? Yada, yada, yada. And then finding out I can't really run the heat. So I've got a steering wheel heater and I got ass warmers, which are fine enough for me. As long as my fingers are warm and my ass is warm, the rest of the car, all I have to do is just keep the window from fogging up, which I just blow cold air over top of it and away I go. So I haven't had really much of a problem with that. But yeah, that's the only thing I have a complaint about, is I just don't have enough range to do what I need to do. That's the ins and outs of it. So the only thing I can do is go up from here. Maybe next year I'll go for one I was looking at. It's called the Kona. Might pick that one up. Trade this one in for it. Who knows? I might end up just running the timeout on this one and just pick up another battery and the pieces I need for it. But I actually really do enjoy this car. I just don't like the battery. I'm going to call it a day. Get this thing charged up. I'm going to go and get myself cleaned up and enjoy the rest of the evening. So thanks for joining me for today and watching me basically shoot the shit about this Nissan Leaf. I'll catch you up on the next video. So like and subscribe, and join me for the rest of the antics I have. Tomorrow I'm actually going to be working on my truck, which is sitting right there. I've got the wiring harness ready for it. So I'll have to kick this thing out tomorrow when it's done charging and leave it outside. And I'll work on that. And I might bring you along for that. So check you later.